like,
Skarner.
He's got to show up there. Okay, so Kalista has made it through. That's the sacrifice that had to be made. And now what will be the answer on the side of KC? Because normally when Kalista gets through, usually it's because the side letting her through has an answer to it. Something like the Ashe, right? Well,
Draven.
Just
banned away.
Yeah, Draven's banned away. Ashe has already been picked. The pool has been shaved down a lot. So we'll see how KC wants to respond to this. Okay, Caitlyn.
All right, are we going to immediately slam the like Lux or something along with this Caitlyn, Karma or something like that? Just to have the super heavy poke pushing bottom lane against this Kalista? I kind of like, ever since we have had this change of the lane swaps have gone away, we have actually had, you know, a lot of situations where the Kalista's been given over and then faces double range, you know, matchup and gets pinned under tower early on.
Yeah.
But this time around, the Kalista will be able to nab the Renata, so we'll be strong regardless. That pairing just has so many strong synergies.
Yeah, it's one of those all-time lane combos that you just think of the champions working so well together. We'll see if CFO wants to grab their own jungler here in the first half before more bans come in. Plenty of stuff obviously already off the table. All the popular stuff is either still banned, like poor Maokai and Skarner, who are just never allowed into the game. But, ooh, Nocturne, okay.
Okay, so some other like flanking possibilities here. Whenever you have Kalista, you know, you're looking for things to enable the short range AD carry later on, so you can have a lot better team fights later into the game. So Nocturne Darkness does that, and then if they can get other flanking champs like, you know, Kennen or something like that, along with the draft they've already got, that would go a long way. There's a Karmine that I mentioned. All right, so there's your flexible still Aurora, could go either lane. All right.
Okay.
Nice fourth pick there.
I'm still come on, give me the big old meatball. Where's the Scion at?
Yeah.
That's I'm just expecting it. Scion and some kind of AP mid laner. That's got to be it. It's got to be it. Okay. Ooh. Okay. A little bit of a Kali spice.
Okay, a Kali seeing the Aurora.
This is a very short range, very just in your face team.
It's good. It's more dive. You know, we were talking when the Nocturne was picked, you want more flankers, more divers along with it. So you got to go heavy dive. Your AD carry is very short range, so it's all about aggressive plays.
Oh.
Not quite the Scion. I'll do you one better. Nocturne ult and the Ornn ult are just so insane together. Your range of getting picks is incredible with this comp for CFO across the map. Problem is, if KC have such a heavy pushing bottom lane and they get turret plate money and they get to push how they want on bottom side with Caitlyn and Karma, then you get to rotate the Caitlyn Karma and like build up an early lead of constant pushing.
Well, there's the Gnar that I mentioned earlier that also still available this deep into the draft. So Gnar versus Ornn in the top lane. Akali versus Aurora.
So level 6 junglers here looking for a lot of standard full clears, but when you have a matchup like that, sometimes you can throw them off by, especially like a Nocturne going in who will have fear early. If you want to try and make a visit towards bottom lane, you can completely change how the matchup goes. So you do have to invest, like we were saying in Champ Select, as soon as the Caitlyn was locked, you know, a little bit of effort as far as the vision goes to make sure that the Caitlyn Karma get to play their pushing game. Because, you know, ideally for Nocturne, you get full clear into full clear, but he can throw you off if he decides to skip a camp and mess up your timer and then completely change one of your lane matchups.
So where do you want to see Yike focus specifically this game? Anything in particular or just...
On the camps right now,
okay.
But on shadowing bottom lane. Because bottom lane will be the most exposed, and they're the ones that are trying to play for plate money, play for poke, play for pressure. So you usually just want to try and shadow them. So that's why he's starting on top side path, and he'll want to provide that security for Kalista and Targamas to just get ward in the tri-brush from Yike, where he sticks around, goes down to make sure, you know, he can cover for them. He gets paid back because the time that he invested there then results in 2 stopped recalls for the Nocturne for Jinja, delaying the level 6 Nocturne ultimate gank.
And you can see the lane swap attempt here as Driver goes bottom, and that means they're going to be able to send their Kalista Renata topside, but then just the exact equal response from KC, making sure that They want to keep Caitlyn and Karma dealing with that Callista and Renata combo, as Kana's honestly having exactly the time you would expect him to have against the Ornn, just dominating in the 1v1 there. Jun just starting up the Drake nice and early. Yike nearby, but hard to close in and try to deal with this guy. Ornhorn summoned up. Driver smacking Kana around a little bit with it, but Kana with a flash behind him to get the better positioning. Now Driver's got to continue running away as the Infernal Drake is already going to be secured by CFO. Kaiwing and Hongq both ready to try to jump in here. It's first blood over to Hongq on the Akali.
Hongq hyped up after the end of the previous game. Starts out with some extra money on the Assassin. Oh my goodness, this is actually huge. Traumatized from all solo queue times.
I am typing FF. I am working on my Mavis Bacon typing simulator, /FF/FF. Fed Akali is a hard champion to deal with. And it looks like CFO, not only are they going to get the first Drake, they're going to get the first 3 grubs. There's no accelerated Jace Shock Blast nearby to steal one away. They are feeling great about that. Doggo, again, just using these barriers judiciously to dodge away against some of that poke. But it is important to note that despite the fact that the only kill is the Callista Sentinel, start up this dragon himself. Driver versus Kana up here on the top side. It's a hard knock life for Ornn. He doesn't really like this situation too much, but he's doing what he can with it as KC has control over the bot side river, and it doesn't look like anybody on the side of CFO is interested in this. Instead, they're just going to handshake this second spawn of objectives. The Dragons will end up going 1-1, but it'll be a 6-0 grub split for the side of CFO.
Yep. No need to fight that on your resets. You just had a big chunk taken by Hongq. Vladdy finished his Luden's Echo and then teleported back in to force the recall the other way. So then you get your answer here. Sork Shoes picked up for Hongq. So Akali's got the penetration along with the mobility and wants to use it. As soon as he finishes his little combo there, Hongq walking in for some deep vision with clean objectives between lanes here for KC, who have moved their bottom lane up to the top side of the map afterwards, and Kana sitting down here still trying to farm up some grass procs here against Driver.
Yeah, Kana with that completed Trinity Force is so scary now, but Junja showing up. Nice escape from Kana so far. He gets far enough away that they can't continue the chase because the Gnar bar is fully charged. That means overcommitting near the turret is a death sentence. Well played from Kana to avoid that Nocturne gank, make that first Nocturne ulti essentially nullified. Being able to handle the pressure and just the scope of where they're at is really impressive.
Yeah, certainly is. We've seen a lot of smiles on these player cameras, despite the pressure that is here.
Oh, wait
a second. That Ornn is dead. That's a body there, Flowers. Okay. Investigate.
We definitely missed. Somebody got spilled down there in the bottom lane.
Who done it?
Okay, so
it was the Gnar with the boomerang in the bottom lane.
And there are no ones in the assist column for anybody else on KC, so that was a solo kill. Now, Kana
what you get for burning my flash with that gank, huh?
Yeah.
You call jungler. Oh, okay, well, I called mid laner.
Yeah, here comes Hongq. Sure, he can flip backwards to just get himself closer. Perfect execution, and oh, nice. He tried to juke him, thinking maybe he would go the wrong way, but not quite going to get the luck on that one. As Doggo ready to try to engage here on Callista and Targamas. No, they need to back away right now. Kaiwing and Doggo know that they're in some danger. Yike is trying to close the gap, wants to go for the flash engage, but an immediate response in flashes from escape from it.
A lot of action very quickly, and it's going to result in more money into the hands of the Akali, which is a bit scary. But the Caitlyn Karma claims a tower in the time because they saw Junja on that ward right there. They know that there's no jungler up top side. So here's a look. The investigation. It was indeed Kana in the bottom lane. Actually with his hands, the 5th pick for KC was why we really liked their side of it. The Gnar has the ability to win side lane as well as join the rest of the team.
Oh yeah. KC gonna take the opportunity, just try to force down the tier 1 turret here as you do have a teleport coming in from Driver. Joining up with the rest of the squad to try to make a play. Hongq diving in with the Ornhorn in over the top. Junja gonna get the fear. Feet of Warfare claimed as Yike spins in, trying to get something back, but he will not do it. Meanwhile, bottom lane, tier 1 turret destroyed by Kana. That is now 2 turrets claimed by the top laner at KC.
Yeah, and they're gonna keep on pushing actually towards mid lane here. It's like they're just going to rotate over the Dragon after they get up to tower. But very early on, you could tell KC made the call, we're not going to answer teleports. We are not going to answer with Kana's teleport, but they couldn't avoid the engage.
Yikes, in some trouble. He gets caught out. He's going to get bursted down. The fear is there, and he's out. Beautifully picked there by CFO. The Herald now summoned up too, just as a distraction over in mid lane. And with the claim on this Drake, there's going to be, oh wait, there's already the feats claimed. I forgot about the first Drake going the way of CFO. This game has been crazy for the first 17 minutes, and KC going to use the power of this early pressure to at least claim the last of those tier 1 turrets from CFO, but it's another neutral objective going the way of the Oysters.
Yeah, it's just a consolation prize for KC there. The scraps, the turret, getting some money. CFO, the big winners coming out of it, and they're still going to be able to rotate over to bottom. Since Kana's here, it does get difficult to fully commit to it, but Honku cancels his recall. They're gonna.
Yeah, they want to make this happen. This turret has barely any HP left, but Doggo's about to die. Stays alive a little bit longer. They go in hard on Kana. The Between Worlds is not enough damage because of the bailout here just yet. Vladdy gets himself away, and now Junja's in trouble. Vladdy continuing the chase. Targamas and Yike right next to him. CFO gonna go ahead and call it a day on that one. It will be a 1-for-1 trade on Champ. First full item with the Unending Despair will make him tankier in the fights. The extra healing could pay some dividends if he does not get just bursted down very quickly. As Driver ready to summon up the Ornhorn yet again. Beautifully done there from Yike though to interrupt the second half of the cast. Now Driver's about to die. He barely holds on. Driver, I feel like that was way too close for comfort.
Yeah, Driver just hands checked right there. He was like, I'm going to flash forward to do it quicker, to R2 quicker. And Yike was like, no, I can react to that.
Yeah.
And they immediately do, so well done from him. Driver doesn't lose his life for it, but yeah.
It was very close to losing his life for it. That had to be about 50 HP.
Yeah.
Maybe that was an Unending Despair proc, keeping him alive as Kana jumps over the wall. He dodges everything that might have been flying towards him. Remember, this is the single strongest player on the map for either team is Kana's Gnar. Just zoning everybody away by himself. Ready to transform now. Narbar charged. As Otacon will put some damage into the KC lines. I've been focusing him whenever they get the opportunity to do so. Driver's here to play spoiler to any potential entry from KC, trying to stop this Drake, and that'll be sole point for CFO, uncontested.
Yeah, I feel like KC have very little chance if they're not there first, so very dangerous for them, and they try and get wards for a possible Otacon contest instead, but now they go for Honku.
Honku in some danger, slammed back into the wall. Between Worlds, all the burst down onto him. They want to get the reset. It's not going to happen, but in the back, huge from Junja to pick up 2. Yes, KC might have assassinated the Akali, but the response is an absolute slugger coming out from CFO. Doggo in the front line, going crazy forward after Kalist, but Kalist turns it around, and now Kana's got his Sterix Gauge, keeping him alive. A little bit more damage, a flash from Junja. Kalist is still alive, and now it's Driver having to run interference on that. Doggo just went completely crazy.
Yeah, he was trying to smurf on Kalist, but Kalist gets the last laugh here. The Caitlyn at the end. Free firing. Targama searching around for any recalls, isn't going to find one. Wow. Flowers, that was a Baron.
Yeah, they threw the control ward over the wall into the brush, but it's right on top of a control ward that has already been placed by KC. KC is fully aware that this is being attempted by CFO. CFO wants to force it with the power of the Kalista, the double smite through the combo power with the Rend, but the Nocturne blind over the wall goes, yeah, can he do it? No! They will not steal it away. CFO forces the Baron 25 minutes into the game and gets away with it scot-free.
Flowers, our timeline is we've come from 2 games of CFO doing nothing and losing and waiting to CFO going, yeah, let's try it. Just go for the smite steal. We've got a Kalista Rend combo.
This is absolute madness from CFO. Targamas trying to keep everybody zoned away as Driver fires off an Ornhorn. Targamas getting away from it there with a flash, but now Honku has made his way forward as well. Yike, the target. The Wukong trying to escape with a perfect execution, seals his fate. The stasis from Honku. Nice toss into the immediate hostile takeover. CFO just ripped their heads off. Kana and Vladdy, the last 2 alive, as CFO have a 5-man push versus 2 for the next 20 seconds.
The Oysters looking like a different beast in this game. They are hungry for that game 5.
These Oysters have shark teeth, brother. That is absolute killer instinct right there. The wombo combo. This is why Kalista and Renata can pair so well together. You throw Renata in like a bowling ball, and the bowling ball makes everybody kill each other. It's absolutely insane when you catch them in a choke like that, and the reward is Otacon.
Huge stuff. CFO with the Baron, with the Otacon, with the confidence.
And this is the second game in a row now where instead of being this massive catalyst, this huge playmaker for KC, he's been set behind and just completely useless.
All right, well, I think there's zero chance that they do anything about the dragon.
Yeah.
What about our chances of actually making use of this Otacon buff here for CFO, though? Because the timer is going to, wind down fairly quickly here. Dragon Soul just looks like that is forfeit for sure. No way that KC are going to fight into this buff, and so it looks like that's just going to be the value there. They guarantee it. Ocean Soul acquired. So now CFO with dominant control of anywhere on the map that's not covered by a KC.
Huge.
And the ability with these Otacon buffs to even go under the turrets and send the dives. So this is going to have to be a big defensive stand for KC. You have to defend against these revivals and this large lead that has accrued for CFO. Their constant sustain with the Ocean Dragon.
All right, here comes the march down top lane. Doggo takes a big chunk of damage, but he'll be happy to heal it right back up. And here goes Driver yet again. Forces out the Ornn engage, but a nice sidestep coming out from Vladdy means he stays safe. Hostile takeover over the top, hits multiple targets, but nobody's dead just yet. Into the back goes Hong Q, and into the ground goes KC. A double kill over to Hong Q as Kana and Vladdy try to keep themselves alive, but the Nexus turrets are the target. CFO has their eyes on the prize, and KC is scrambling to keep them from it. Driver teleporting back into the enemy base, ready to rejoin for the final mission of this fourth game. The minion wave has arrived. Kaiwing with a beautiful handshake to force the flash away from Kana, and Doggo is on a killing mission yet again. Hong Q on a rampage, second Nexus turret headed to the ground, and CFO is headed for game 5. We're going to Silver Scrape.